March 17th changes everything. And I need you to understand that I'm not being dramatic when I say this. March 17th isn't just another day on the calendar. It's a cosmic checkpoint. A moment when the universe recalibrates the flow of abundance in your life for the next 12 months. And here's what most people don't realize. The state of your physical space right now is either opening the door to that abundance or slamming it shut before it even arrives. If you've been feeling like money keeps slipping through your fingers, if opportunities seem to evaporate just when you're about to grasp them, if you're working harder than ever but your financial situation stays stuck in the same frustrating loop, there's a reason, and that reason might be sitting right in front of you, hidden in plain sight within the walls of your own home. I know that sounds almost too simple. We've been conditioned to believe that wealth comes from grinding harder, from finding the perfect strategy, from being in the right place at the right time. And while those things matter, there's an invisible layer of reality that most people completely ignore. It's the energetic layer, the frequency at which your environment vibrates, the silent messages your space is sending to the universe about whether you're ready to receive or whether you're still holding on to what needs to be released. March 17th is when that energetic layer becomes unusually receptive to change. It's when the cosmic forces align in a way that makes transformation not just possible, but almost inevitable. And the question isn't whether change will happen. The question is whether that change will work for you or against you. Stay with me here, Isos, because there's one specific reason this date carries so much weight, and I'm going to reveal exactly why in just a moment. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening in your space right now, and why it matters more than you think. Your home is not just a collection of walls and furniture. It's a living energy field. Every object you own, every piece of clutter you've been meaning to deal with, every forgotten item shoved into a closet or drawer, all it is broadcasting a signal. And that signal is either aligned with abundance or it's creating static that blocks the flow of wealth into your life. Think about it this way. When you walk into a space that feels heavy, cluttered, or stagnant, your body knows it immediately. Your shoulders tense. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your mind feels foggy. That's not just a psychological response. That's your energy system reacting to the frequency of the environment. And if you're feeling that way in your own home, imagine what message that space is sending to the universe about your readiness to receive. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Ancient wisdom traditions from cultures all over the world have understood this principle for thousands of years. In Chinese Feng Shui, there's a concept called Kai, the life force energy that flows through all things. When Kai is blocked or stagnant in your environment, it creates blockages in every area of your life, especially your finances. In Japanese culture, there's a practice called Osuji, a deep spiritual cleansing that's performed at specific times of the year to reset the energy of a space and invite fresh blessings. In Indian Vastu Shastra, the placement and condition of objects in your home directly influences the flow of prosperity. These aren't superstitions. These are sophisticated systems of understanding how energy moves through physical space and how that movement affects human consciousness and material reality. And modern science is actually starting to catch up. Studies in environmental psychology have shown that cluttered environments increase cortisol levels, impair cognitive function, and create a persistent low-grade stress response that affects decision-making and productivity. When your nervous system is constantly dealing with the visual and energetic noise of disorder, you literally don't have the mental bandwidth to recognize and act on opportunities when they appear. But here's what makes March 17th so critical. This isn't just about general cleanliness or organization. This is about a specific cosmic window that opens once a year. And if you miss it, you're essentially setting your financial thermostat for the next 12 months. Let me explain what's actually happening in the sky. On March 17th, we have a rare alignment involving Mars, the planet of action and initiation, moving into a powerful position relative to Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance. At the same time, the moon is in a phase that amplifies manifestation energy. This combination creates what astrologers call wealth portal, a brief period when the universe is essentially asking you a question. Are you ready? Have you made space? Have you cleared out the old to make room for the new? And here's the thing that most people miss. The universe doesn't force abundance on anyone. It responds to invitation. It responds to readiness. And one of the clearest ways you demonstrate readiness is through the state of your physical environment. When your space is cluttered, chaotic, or filled with items that carry old energy, you're essentially telling the universe, I'm not ready yet. I'm still holding on to the past. I don't have room for anything new. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. I worked with a woman named Sarah who had been struggling financially for years. She was talented, hardworking, had a good education, but no matter what she did, money just wouldn't stick. She'd get a windfall and then immediately face an unexpected expense. She'd land a new client and then lose to others. It was like she was running on a financial treadmill, working harder and harder, but never actually moving forward. When I visited her home, I immediately understood why. Her apartment was packed with stuff, not dirty, not disorganized in an obvious way, but full. Every surface had something on it. Her closets were bursting. Her drawers were jammed. And when I asked her about it, she said something that I hear all the time. I might need these things someday. I paid good money for this. I can't just throw it away. What if I regret it? That's the voice of scarcity. That's the energy of holding on because you don't trust that more will come. And as long as that energy dominates your space, it dominates your financial reality. We spent a weekend doing a deep clearing, not just tidying up, but actually releasing. We went through every room, every closet, every drawer, and we asked one simple question about each item. Does this support the life I'm creating, or does it belong to the life I'm leaving behind? And here's what happened. Within 2 weeks of completing that clearing, Sarah received a job offer that doubled her income. Within a month, she had 3 new clients reach out to her completely unsolicited. Within 3 months, her entire financial situation had transformed. Now, I'm not saying that cleaning your house is a magic spell that makes money appear. What I am saying is that when you clear your space, you clear your energy. When you clear your energy, you clear your mind. When you clear your mind, you make better decisions. You notice opportunities you would have missed. You take actions you would have avoided. You show up differently in the world, and the world responds. But there's another layer to this that's even more important. Every object in your home carries a frequency. That frequency is determined by how you acquired it, what memories are attached to it, and what emotional charge it holds for you. If you have items in your space that remind you of failure, loss, or limitation, those items are constantly broadcasting that frequency into your environment, and you're absorbing it, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. Think about the clothes in your closet that don't fit anymore. Every time you see them, there's a subtle message. I used to be different. I'm not who I want to be. That's a frequency of lack. Think about the gifts you received from people you no longer have positive relationships with. Every time you look at them, there's a subtle emotional charge. That's energetic clutter. Think about the projects you started and never finished, the books you bought and never read, the equipment you purchased for hobbies you abandoned. All of it is whispering the same message. You don't follow through. You don't finish what you start. You're not capable of transformation. These messages are subtle, but they're constant, and over time, they shape your subconscious beliefs about what's possible for you. They create an invisible ceiling on your capacity to receive. And that ceiling stays in place until you actively dismantle it by clearing the physical representations of those limiting beliefs from your environment. Now with portals, I want to be very clear about something. This isn't about minimalism for the sake of minimalism. This isn't about living in a sterile, empty space with nothing but a mattress on the floor. This is about intentionality. This is about making sure that everything in your environment is either functional, beautiful, or meaningful. And if it's not one of those three things, it's taking up space that could be occupied by something that actually serves your highest good. There's a principle in energy work called the law of vacuum. It states that nature abhors a vacuum and will rush to fill any empty space. When you create space in your physical environment, you create space in your energetic field, and the universe will fill that space with whatever matches your dominant frequency. If you clear space while holding the intention of abundance, abundance will flow in. If you clear space while feeling resentful or fearful, you'll attract more of that. This is why the mindset you hold during the clearing process matters just as much as the clearing itself. Let me give you another example. I know a man named David who was an entrepreneur struggling to scale his business. He was working 16-hour days, hustling constantly, but his revenue had plateaued. He came to me frustrated and exhausted, convinced that he needed a new marketing strategy or a better business model. But when I asked him about his workspace, he admitted that his home office was a disaster. Papers everywhere, old files from projects that ended years ago, equipment he no longer used, a desk so cluttered he could barely find space to work. I told him to forget about marketing for 1 week and focus entirely on clearing and organizing his workspace. He was skeptical, but he did it. He went through every file, every drawer, every shelf. He threw away or donated anything that wasn't actively serving his current business. He created a clean, organized, intentional workspace that felt good to be in, and something shifted. Within days, he had a breakthrough idea for a new product. Within 2 weeks, he closed a deal with a client he'd been pursuing for months. Within a month, his revenue had increased by 40%. Was it the cleaning that caused the success? Not directly, but the cleaning cleared the mental and energetic space for clarity to emerge. It removed the constant low-level distraction of disorder. It signaled to his subconscious mind that he was serious about moving forward. And that shift in internal state created a shift in external results. This is the power of aligning your environment with your intentions. And March 17th is the optimal day to do this because the cosmic energies are supporting exactly this kind of transformation. It's like the universe is offering you a cosmic reset button, but you have to press it. You have to take the action. You have to do the work of clearing, releasing, and making space. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of work. I don't have time for this. I'll do it later. And that's exactly the trap. Later never comes. Later is where dreams go to die. Later is the language of resistance. And if you let resistance win on March 17th, you're essentially choosing to carry the same energetic baggage into the next 12 months that you've been carrying up until now. But here's the good news. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to clear your entire house in one day. What matters is that you start. What matters is that you make a commitment to the process, and you take meaningful action on this specific day. Even if it's just one room, even if it's just one closet, even if it's just one drawer. The act of beginning, the act of choosing to release what no longer serves you, that's what activates the energetic shift. And there's something else you need to understand. This isn't just about physical objects. This is also about digital clutter. Your computer desktop filled with random files. Your email inbox with thousands of unread messages. Your phone with apps you never use and photos you never look at. All of that is clutter too. All of that is creating energetic static. And all of that needs to be addressed if you want to fully open the channel for abundance. Think about how you feel when you open your email and see that overwhelming number. Think about the subtle stress that comes from knowing your digital life is a mess. That stress is a frequency, and that frequency is blocking your ability to receive. So as you're clearing your physical space on March 17th, don't forget to clear your digital space as well. Delete old files. Unsubscribe from emails you never read. Organize your photos. Clean up your desktop. Create order in the digital realm, just as you're creating order in the physical realm. There's also an emotional component to this that we need to address. As you go through the clearing process, you're going to encounter resistance. You're going to find items that trigger memories, emotions, or attachments. You're going to feel the pull to hold on, to keep things just in case, to avoid the discomfort of letting go. This is normal. This is part of the process. But you have to push through it. Every time you choose to release something that no longer serves you, you're practicing the art of non-attachment. You're training yourself to trust that you don't need to hoard or cling. You're affirming that you live in a universe of abundance, not scarcity. And that practice, that energetic training, is what shifts your relationship with money and opportunity at a fundamental level. Here's the final third of the script, continuing naturally from where the second round ended. Let me tell you about the specific areas in your home that have the most direct impact on your financial flow. Because not all spaces are created equal when it comes to wealth energy. There are certain zones that act as energetic gateways. And if these areas are blocked or cluttered, you're essentially putting a lock on your prosperity. The first and most critical area is your entryway. In Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of Kai. It's where energy enters your home, and by extension, where opportunities enter your life. If your entryway is cluttered with shoes, coats, bags, and random items, you're creating an energetic bottleneck. Imagine trying to pour water through a funnel that's already half full of debris. That's what's happening with the flow of abundance into your life. On March 17th, your entryway should be the first place you address. Clear it completely. Make it welcoming. Make it spacious. Make it a place where energy can flow freely and abundantly. The second critical area is your bedroom, specifically the space under your bed. Many people use this area as storage, shoving boxes, old clothes, or random items underneath. But your bedroom is where you spend a third of your life, where your subconscious mind is most active, where you're most vulnerable and receptive. If the space beneath where you sleep is filled with clutter, you're literally sleeping on top of stagnant energy every single night. That energy seeps into your dreams, your rest, your subconscious programming. Clear everything from under your bed. Let that space breathe. Let energy circulate freely around where you sleep. The third area is your kitchen, particularly your refrigerator and pantry. Food represents nourishment and abundance. When your food storage areas are cluttered, expired, or disorganized, you're sending a message of scarcity and neglect. Go through your refrigerator on March 17th. Throw away anything expired. Clean the shelves. Organize what remains. Do the same with your pantry. This isn't just about hygiene. This is about honoring the abundance you already have and making space for more to flow in. The fourth critical area is your wallet or purse. This is your personal money container, and its condition directly reflects your relationship with wealth. If your wallet is stuffed with old receipts, expired cards, crumpled bills, and random papers, you're treating money carelessly. You're showing the universe that you don't respect or value the financial energy that flows through your life. On March 17th, empty your wallet completely. Throw away everything that doesn't belong. Organize your bills so they face the same direction. Clean the interior. Treat your wallet like the sacred vessel it is, because it literally holds your financial energy. Now, As you're clearing these spaces, there's a specific ritual I want you to perform. It's simple but powerful, and it will amplify the energetic impact of your clearing work. As you release each item, as you throw things away or donate them, say this phrase out loud or in your mind. I release this with gratitude, and I make space for abundance to flow. This isn't just positive thinking. This is energetic programming. You're consciously directing the energy of release and creating an intentional vacuum that the universe will fill. There's also a timing element that makes March 17th particularly potent. In many spiritual traditions, the number 17 carries significant meaning. In numerology, 17 reduces to 8, which is the number of infinity, abundance, and material manifestation. The date itself, 317, creates a frequency that resonates with expansion and prosperity. When you combine this numerical significance with the astrological alignments happening on this day, you create a perfect storm of manifestation energy. This is why taking action on this specific date isn't just symbolic. It's strategic. But here's something crucial that most people overlook. The clearing process isn't just about removing things. It's also about what you bring in to replace them. Once you've created space, you need to be intentional about what fills that space. This is where many people sabotage themselves. They do the hard work of clearing, and then they immediately start accumulating again, bringing in new clutter, new items that don't serve them, new energy that doesn't align with their goals. After you clear on March 17th, implement what I call the 24-hour rule. Before you bring anything new into your space, wait 24 hours and ask yourself 3 questions. Do I truly need this? Does this align with the life I'm creating? Will this add value or just take up space? If you can't answer yes to at least 2 of those questions, don't bring it in. This practice will help you maintain the energetic clarity you've worked so hard to create. There's another dimension to this work that we need to address, and that's the emotional clearing that happens alongside the physical clearing. As you go through your belongings on March 17th, you're going to encounter items that carry emotional weight. Gifts from relationships that ended, clothes from a version of yourself you no longer identify with, objects that remind you of failures or disappointments. These items are energetic anchors, tying you to past versions of yourself and past experiences that no longer serve your growth. When you encounter these items, don't just throw them away mechanically. Take a moment to acknowledge what they represent. Thank them for the lessons they brought. Recognize the growth that came from those experiences, and then consciously choose to release them. This process of emotional acknowledgement and release is what transforms physical clearing into spiritual transformation. You're not just cleaning your house. You're healing your relationship with your past and opening yourself to a new future. I want to share one more story that illustrates the profound impact this work can have. I knew a woman named Maria who had been carrying debt for over a decade. She worked multiple jobs, budgeted carefully, but could never seem to get ahead. The debt just kept growing, and she felt trapped in a cycle of financial stress that was affecting her health, her relationships, and her sense of self-worth. When we talked about her living space, she revealed that she had an entire room in her house that she called the room of shame. It was filled with unopened boxes from a business venture that had failed years ago. She couldn't bring herself to deal with it, so she just closed the door and pretended it didn't exist. But energetically, that room was a massive weight. It was a constant reminder of failure, a physical manifestation of shame and regret that was broadcasting its frequency throughout her entire home. On March 17th of last year, I convinced her to finally address that room. We spent the entire day going through those boxes, releasing the items, clearing the space, and transforming that room from a shrine to failure into a clean, open space filled with possibility. The emotional release she experienced during that process was profound. She cried, she laughed, she felt lighter than she had in years. And here's what happened next. Within 1 week, she received an unexpected tax refund she had forgotten about. Within 2 weeks, she was offered a promotion at her primary job. Within a month, she had paid off a significant portion of her debt. Within 6 months, she was completely debt-free for the first time in over a decade. The clearing of that physical space created a cascade of changes that transformed her entire financial reality. This is the power of what we're talking about. This is why March 17th matters. This is why you can't afford to let this day pass without taking action. Because the state of your space is not separate from the state of your finances. They're intimately connected. They're two expressions of the same underlying energy. And when you transform one, you inevitably transform the other. Now, I want to address something that might be coming up for you as you're hearing all of this. You might be feeling overwhelmed. You might be thinking, I have so much clutter. I don't even know where to start. Or you might be feeling resistant, finding reasons why this doesn't apply to you, why your situation is different, why you can't do this right now. That resistance is normal. That overwhelm is understandable. But don't let it stop you. Start small. Start with one drawer. Start with one shelf. Start with your wallet. The size of the action doesn't matter as much as the intention behind it and the commitment to begin. Because once you start, once you take that first step, momentum builds. The universe responds to action, not intention alone. And the act of beginning, even in a small way, sends a powerful signal that you're ready for change. There's also a community aspect to this that can be incredibly supportive. If you're watching this video, you're part of a community of people who are all working on the same transformation at the same time. On March 17th, thousands of people will be clearing their spaces, releasing what no longer serves them, and making room for abundance. That collective energy creates a powerful field that supports and amplifies individual efforts. You're not doing this alone. No, you're part of a movement, a wave of conscious transformation that's happening on a global scale. And here's something beautiful that often happens during this process. As you clear your physical space, you'll notice that other areas of your life start to clear as well. Relationships that were draining you will naturally fall away. Commitments that weren't aligned with your purpose will resolve themselves. Mental patterns that were keeping you stuck will begin to shift. This is because everything is connected. When you change one element of your life with intention and awareness, the ripple effects touch everything else. The final piece I want to share with you is about maintenance. The clearing you do on March 17th is powerful, but it's not a one-time fix. It's the beginning of a new relationship with your space and your energy. To maintain the benefits of this work, you need to develop ongoing practices that keep your space clear and your energy flowing. I recommend doing a mini clearing at the end of each week. Spend 15 minutes going through your space, putting things back where they belong, releasing anything that accumulated during the week that doesn't serve you. This weekly practice prevents clutter from building up again and keeps your energy field clear and receptive. Think of it like showering. You don't shower once and expect to stay clean forever. You do it regularly because you understand that maintenance is necessary. The same principle applies to your energetic space. Also, develop the habit of conscious consumption. Before you bring anything new into your space, ask yourself if it truly adds value to your life. This applies to physical objects, but also to digital content, relationships, commitments, and information. Everything you allow into your field either raises your frequency or lowers it. There's no neutral. So be selective, be intentional, be protective of your energy and your space. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to understand something fundamental. The work I'm asking you to do on March 17th is not about perfection. It's not about having a magazine-worthy home or living like a minimalist monk. It's about alignment. It's about making sure that your external environment reflects and supports your internal intentions. It's about removing the obstacles that are blocking the natural flow of abundance that wants to reach you. The universe is not withholding wealth from you. You're not being punished or overlooked. What's happening is that there are energetic blockages. And many of those blockages are sitting right there in your physical space, hidden in plain sight. The clutter in your closet, the chaos in your drawers, the stagnant energy in your entryway. These aren't just inconveniences. They're barriers between you and the life you're meant to live. March 17th is your opportunity to remove those barriers. It's your chance to press the cosmic reset button and align yourself with the frequency of abundance. But you have to take action. You have to do the work. You have to be willing to let go of what's comfortable and familiar in order to make space for what's possible and transformative. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, before you close this video, make a commitment. Decide that, on March 17th, you will clear at least one significant area of your home. Write it down. Tell someone about it. Make it real. And then, when that day comes, honor that commitment. Show up for yourself. Show